Alright, if you can hear me. We go from the main menu here because there's a small skippable cutscene beforehand. Okay, right. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. So, hello everybody. Welcome to Shots Fired. This is Titanfall 2. I think this is actually the first time that Titanfall 2 has actually been in a marathon, which is really cool. So, thank you again for accepting the run.
We'll have to recalibrate it.
So basically Titanfall 2 is obviously a follow-up to Titanfall 1, but one of the things that Titanfall 1 did not have, which Titanfall 2 does have, is a single-player campaign. And it's actually a really good campaign. It's really good fun. Obviously people will expect you to play a shooter, but the campaign is really good for a speedrunner, apart from, I'd say, one little bit that I'll talk about when I get there. As the game is based on a heavily modified source engine, you've got the usual movement, some bunny hopping, some air strafing. That tree that we just passed is the biggest run killer. You hit that tree, you lose your momentum. You get your different parts of your movement through this tutorial. You can't actually wall run there until he says second nature. Of course I would hit that rock today, of all days. You only get your double jump there, so I'm a little delayed now because of hitting that rock, but it's fine. There's a few, like last time I just said about the demo, so there's a few little nods to Titanfall 1 lore here and there. And here's a first neat little skip. As guns are coming in, hold reload, and as you're reloading your gun, pick the new weapon up, and you will actually reload the new weapon like straight away and instantly, which is actually obviously really useful. You have to shoot those targets to move on, so living up to the marathon. And now we're going to do a bit of frag boosting, which is one of only 2 places, and I don't like the look of this grenade, if I'm being honest. That's an awful grenade. Concentrate and pull this back. So obviously we want to hold our grenades, cook them, and then obviously get the speed boost from them. Wow, this is some awful frag boosting, I'm not going to lie. Let's be able to set in a run. But yeah, mainly the methods of movement that we'll be mostly doing is... That was not a nice one, so get out of here. The methods of movement that we'll be using are obviously wall running, jump sliding, so basically run forward, jump, hold crouch, and then you get a boost as you hit the ground, and then you do your bunny hop from there. You kind of keep your momentum, you start losing it a little bit, and you can see there's like little dialogue choices here. For the most part in the run, I'll be picking the dialogue choices that go through the fastest, with one exception on the 3rd level, where I'll be intentionally choosing the longest dialogue options to delay our Titan from moving. Yes, your partner. Yes. So, the game also gives you the tutorial for calling in BT, even though you only call him in one place. I'm going to do that a little slowly, because if you call BT in on the exact perfect frame, BT here will actually explode, and it will count as a death. Which... You'll see in parts that this is a very well programmed game. So we've got another few minutes of cutscenes coming up, unfortunately. But the game is about to just go through some lore, some backlog, a little bit of world building.
It's up. Trying to anyway.
A little bit of foreshadowing.
In there. You'll get the hang of it someday. We'll make a pilot out of you yet, Rifleman. But not today. No time.
Definitely not.
Last Mimosa.
Anderson.
You son of a bitch. See you down there.
We're going to see a new planet today and die on it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, see
you down there, Rifleman. Good luck.
I'll try not to talk too much during the cutscenes, because obviously most people haven't seen Titanfall. The fun will really begin about 9.5 minutes into the run. Unfortunately, and this is probably one of the reasons why I don't run this game or stop running this game, is these first 10 minutes are a little on the rough side. You have the gauntlet, which we just did, then obviously you saw at the end, there's about a minute of just unskippable cutscene. We've got about a minute of unskippable cutscene coming up, about 10 seconds of gameplay, and then about another 3 minutes or so of... if there is pausing or momentary freezing, I can lower the bitrate. If you'd like me to do that, just hit me up and I'll just do that real quick. Bitrate, okay. If you want me to lower the bitrate on my end, Shadox, just ask. I can lower it down to like 2K for you. It will pause the game, but it's still a second or so. Sammy? Okay, cool. So here, we're basically, like Lastimosa said, we're off down to the planet. We are the militia up against the IMC. The story will piece itself together as we go through. The game actually came out about, I think it was near end of November. EA decided that the best time to release this would be the week after Battlefield 1 and the week before Call of Duty. So, as far as FPS's last year, this kind of got overlooked a little bit. Right. So, we're about to get control for about another 10 seconds here. This NPC in front of us there, who's getting shot at the minute, he's one of the biggest obstacles in this run because he will randomly run in your way. Thankfully he's walked back, but I've seen him run back in from this position. So we're going to use these little rocks here to get a little bit of a boost. If you're too slow there, there's a piece of debris that will hit you in the room. Accidentally slid a little bit there. Okay, so now we've got a few more minutes of cutscene, unfortunately. And this is just why people don't really like the start of this run, is because you do have to sit with these cutscenes, unfortunately.
Cooper, you're in bad shape. Hold on. This might knock you out, but you should be okay when you wake up.
Lastimosa, hostile Titans inbound. Apex predators.
Copy that, BT.
So again, it's just doing a bit more world building, a bit more story build up.
BT, let's go.
But as far as like FPS campaigns last year, there were so many good ones. There was obviously Doom, there was this, Battlefield 1. Last year was a really great game for FPS campaign games, and Doom and Battlefield 1 will be showing up in this marathon, so make sure you keep watching. Yeah, if you do need a bathroom break, now's the time. Here you get a little quick look at our upcoming villains in the game. Including good old Richter here, who loves ears for some reason. That's never explained on. And memes!
We have 18 hours. 18 hours until the Ark is sealed and ready for delivery.
18 hours until these opening cutscenes are finished.
Oi, Richter! Leave the corpses alone, you sick bastard. We've got a job to do, eh? We make corpses, we don't clean them.
Richter's a lovely fella. We'll be seeing him again later. So, we're finally about to get control in a second for about another 10 seconds again. We've been found by the wonderful local wildlife. Now, because this is shots fired, and because I do get bored after those cutscenes, I'm just going to switch my pistol ahead of time because we're going to switch to another gun, and I'm just going to shoot BT because why not? Have a quote to me. And then we lose control of the game for one last time.
BT, transfer authorization to new pilot. Link Bravo Tango 7274. Trooper, take my Titan. Use my helmet in my jump kit. This is the real thing.
Oh.
Take care of him.
Shouldn't have foreshadowed You're in death there, last most. So, now we've given Asmos a bit of burial, and we've ironically become a pilot already. Who saw that coming? We now have to get some batteries for BT to make him up and running again. So now the real game begins. This is where the fun begins. This is where I consider this the actual start of the game, even though obviously you start in the tutorial. So we switched to our pistols so we can pick up a shotgun. We'll be using the rifle that we picked up on the way and this shotgun that we're picking up for about 5 or 6 levels. I should mention at this point, you do not have full access to your jump kit, so you only have wall run and a single jump. You do not have double jump. Local wildlife will turn up at points like this guy and just get in the way. I missed that again? Huh, good stuff. Every so often I'll mess my movement up and just miss that jump. It's the silliest jump to lose to, but at least the checkpoint was right there. For some of the tricks later on, I actually have like a quick save that I can use to make sure silly things don't happen. That's a good start right there. You always know it's a good start when it's right there. This game is a little weird when it comes to movement at times. Sometimes Cooper will stick to walls. You do have a cloaking ability as well, by the way, which the game doesn't actually tutorial you for. I'm using that at certain places, but it's generally not used that much. This is Death River. I'm actually going to take my time with this. The correct way to go is around to the left. The quick way to go is... Thank you, sir. The quick way to go is actually over where I did it. You can get over there in a singular movement, but it's quite hard. There are trees on either side that look like they shouldn't actually stop you, but they do. And because you still only have your single jump, there's a few instances here or there where... Oh, that was close. There's a few instances here or there where you'll actually, kind of lose your momentum. And we've just got a double jump back. And this barrel will get in your way, because it is awful. And that was a bad slide. You can slide through the entirety of this, but it's actually kind of hard. You have to kind of pull your movement back a little bit. But here's the first battery for BT, so we'll go and take that back to him. There will be a few silly deaths in this, by the way. Happens sometimes. So, just go down here. That's a bit slow, unfortunately. Excuse me, sir. You have to be careful of this little guy, because he will stop you in midair, and then you'll die. I cloaked a little early. Yeah, you notice me. Yeah, there's 3 enemies there. One that's behind BT. A well-timed cloak and a grenade will mean that they won't actually see you, but... that was bad on my part. So now we're going to do River Skip. This was found recently. Save here just in case, because I messed this up a few times, where you're supposed to go to the right, but instead, you just do that. The movement? Yeah, the movement. Sweet. So most of this, the rest of this level is about good movement, really optimized. You can get across that gap in one jump, but I took it kind of a bit awkwardly, so I decided to just do it normally. Oops. Got a little worried there. I usually go for this wall instead of that first wall, but because I had the silly death, I'm just going to take things easy. Like here, you can actually jump on top of this tree here, but if you go slightly over it, you'll fall into this death pit. So, because of the silly death, let's just take it really easy, shall we? Ideally, you want to go through here if possible. Use cloak here so that this turret doesn't shoot us and slow us down. And then use burst of speed as we land. So you hear a female voice on the ship. I'll do this dialogue. This dialogue, some of the dialogue doesn't matter, like this one, but I'll do them to kind of show off some of the plot. So now, can I get a good vent? Like, jump boost your way through parts of this vent. That was an average vent. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't great. And there's our second battery. So now we have to take this, actually, yeah, second battery. It's the last battery, because BT already has one in him, but we're going to take this back. Got kind of the fast movement, but I'll play it safe, just in case. don't trust myself right now.
Pilot, our location has been compromised.
So we've got some enemies that will drop in. So again, good frag grenade usage. Hello, you're alive. Thank you.
Those drones are IMC scouts.
That happens sometimes. Sometimes you can get a really nice grenade, like right nestled into the corner of that rock and blow them all up, or you can miss it like I did.
Battery. Power at full capacity. Pilot, we must establish a neural link in order to...
So now BT's up and running, we need to have a tutorial about how to control BT. I want to give a shout out to Respawn here, the developers, because they didn't have to do this, but one of the patches about 3 or 4 big patches ago changed the way that BT operates here into the way that it works in multiplayer. So when they heavily nerfed this part, when they heavily nerfed for certain things in multiplayer to do with the Vortex Shield, for some reason it changed over to single player. Respawn, bless them, actually listened to us and reverted the changes back to how they were, which makes this a little faster and a little easier for us, which is nice. Unfortunately, there's a bit at the end of the mission that has been changed for the worse, but we can still do it fast, provided the game actually plays along with me.
I'm detecting incoming enemy forces.
So we can't move here, we can't use our guns. It basically goes through the fact that BT has a few abilities. The first ability, like I said earlier, is Vortex Shield, where you get shot at and you can just grab the bullets. If we hold it till the end, we can actually kill the entirety of the first wave. Sometimes this goes a little slowly. I like to let the bar fill up and then use it. I think that's a little slow. Wait here, leave these two alive so that we can kill these guys coming in. Nice, that was fast. So then you get the Acolyte Pod, which is basically homing rockets, and you block the other one. I want to get those 5, take care of these 2. I don't know how you're still alive. I'm gonna let the Acolyte Pod come back a little bit so that I can have it for these last guys. Nice. I salvaged that, because that could have gone horribly with that guy still being alive.
We will have to fight our way to safety.
So again, fastest dialogue option is this one.
About this?
Yes, trust me.
He comes over here. This guy used to not move, but in that patch that changed Vortex Shield, he started moving. Nice! I got my quick kill. So I do things a little differently, and admittedly not as good, but if it works, it works. You use electric smoke where he stands in, and then you shoot, and he uses his own Vortex Shield, and what I did was use my Vortex Shield to catch my bullets back that I shot at him, and fired them back. I wait there specifically so that the marker appears and we get a fast transition. If you start down here, you actually have to walk all the way back, and it actually takes time before the level transition happens. This is Blood and Rust. There's some really which is actually kind of easy to mess up, and I've messed it up before. I've also had my inputs eaten here, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen today. So for the first part, we're mostly going to be using BT, and we're going to be going through the level as fast as we can. We're going to be waiting on certain boosts, like here, so we can get over this tree, and then land on that. Movement in this game timed boosts, but there is one section later on, which obviously I'll explain when we go through, where you want to just be spamming it. Hopefully I can get the slide off this guy. Nope, because you haven't been playing nice lately. If you can get on top of him, you can actually slide and basically like save a few seconds. And I fire missiles at that guy just to get him out of the way. The tone loadout, you'll find different loadouts during the game. They're based off of the multiplayer ones. The tone loadout is one of the most useful ones, alongside Scorch and Brute. I'm sure we'll be getting that too. We want to use missiles on this guy to get him out of the way, which he didn't. I messed up the... He's trying to punch me, by the way. There's... When you get out of your Titan, you can actually... If you jump at the right time, you can actually get a disembark boost, which is what I wanted to get, and the disembark boost would have taken me to kind of like the higher part of this. But by going up here, we skip out going from all the way over there, above to this, and coming down. So that saves about a good 20-30 seconds right there. For this part, it's mostly about good movement. I kind of messed that up, so I want to take it a bit slowly. And I'll use this wall to get my speed back.
Listen up. This is Kane.
This guy.
What we have here in my IMC.
Now you're getting introduced to Kane. Another lovely individual.
Communicate. That's okay. That's okay. It's all good.
I'm not going that fast. That's fine, I've got it.
I am engaging a hostile Titan.
So the normal route is over there to the right, but this is so much faster. Like if you go to the right, you've got like little bits of, little pits and little bits of, if you fall down there, basically, then you just have to dodge. If you go on the left, it's a little faster.
I'm detecting friendly militia forces along.
Here's some allies, we're just going to ignore them.
Assistance.
Hopefully have a good set of cabins, which we had. Excellent. It's kind of hard to get good movement in there because there's little like valves on the ceiling that can stop you. And this is decent movement. Nice. So we're coming up onto Sludge Skip, which is the big skip for this level. This is where we're going to be delaying the dialogue that I mentioned earlier.
So I got word that there's some Vanguard class Titan
there.
and an SRS pilot taking out my IMC.
Uh-oh.
Whoever you are.
So that I'm safe. There's some pipes on the right-hand side there that will actually stop you, so you've got to be a little careful. I'm getting hit by everything today.
Pilot, exercise caution.
Whoa. Almost fell to death. So, again, the quick way up is to go around the room, but we're just going to go up here. All of this is like sludge that like kills you, but it also stops your movement. So this is the dialogue that we're intentionally delaying. We're going to do Missing Me Already, because we want BT to stand where he's standing now, so that we can use him to go through the fence. And hopefully I get this first time, because it's a lot faster if I get it first time. And then we're going to do Long Time No See. I'm going to make a quick save here, just in case.
I guess that's why they pay me the big bucks. Done right.
My angle is a little off, but we got it. Gotta wait here. If we jump into BT too fast, we will crash the game. Wait till marking your HUD and you're 100% safe. But if you go in him a bit too fast, and for some reason he was crouching there, but if you go in him a bit too fast there, you will crash the game. There's a couple of moments like that. So, and you want to save your boosts here for going around corners. So we're about to meet Kane and have our first boss fight of the game. We go through every single boss fight except for one. I should have saved my boost for here. That's my bad. You can see, I'm just demonstrating how much slower it is if you don't use a boost round.
You were not invited to Kane's party, and that's why you're dead. Well, another runaway hero with an SRS Vanguard class Titan. Woo! Now we're talking. Bring it tonight.
Kane's a lovely fella. So what I want to do is stack up on Kane and then shoot this roof, because then when I use Missile Pod, it will basically make Kane use his shield or kill the roof. You want to be careful of your ammo, obviously. If you switch the different like tone loadouts, or different tones to the original loadout, Kane, where are you going? You'll reload instantly. And you want to be careful there, because sometimes BT will be really, really attached to you and just get up in your grill and get in your way of getting Kane's helmet. That was an okay fight. You'll notice that I didn't use Core, because Core is actually slower than trying to get crits and then actually just using like missile salvo. There's some very good crashes in this game. There is one skip I will be going for later in this game that really does not like me and opens an infinite box of possibilities, which, if I get it, get excited for that, but that's not until the penultimate level of the game, so we've got a while to go to get there.
I'm on my way. Slow now.
The ability to decrypt enemy communications has a strong history in warfare. This will work to our advantage. In order to survive, we must keep moving.
I'm already moving, BT. So, next up is Into the Abyss, which is split up into... It's the first level that's split up into 3 parts. Abyss 1 doesn't have many... Well, it doesn't actually have any skips. There is some out of bounds, and you'll seeing some good out-of-bounds in Abyss 2.
Major Anderson,
But unfortunately Abyss 1 doesn't have that much. So for Abyss 1 we just want to have some pretty good movement. Some pretty good Titan fights later on as well. There's a little gap that I boosted over there where you can actually fall down and die. So again, I want to save boost for certain parts, and we just found Scorch. Scorch is going to become one of our #1 Titan loadouts later on, especially for certain boss fights and certain situations, including the start of the 3rd to last level. Again, you want to wait here for a boost, because when you turn, you slow down. You want to wait for basically, like, drops like this.
War criminal, wanted by the militia, commonly employed by the IMC. Blisk was responsible for the death of my previous pilot, Captain Lastimosa.
Whoops. So Blisk was the one at the start. Actually, technically it was Ash who stabbed him in the back, but you won't be seeing Ash this run. You want to wait here because that will instantly kill you. I actually almost forgot about that. I think I boosted a bit early there. I'm waiting intentionally there so I can get a little bit of a boost. Thankfully that brute sometimes will come down and just be in your way. Fortunately not today. Now, on the other side of this door is 3 Titans. We're going to use Scorch and put fire in there and then use that fire shield. And hopefully... Beautiful. Took him out instantly. Because it's an enclosed space, you want to use Scorch. And Brute that we just found here is going to be very useful for some of the skips coming up. So let's... I also am going to be a little careful here. Wow, good shot. Because I've died here a few silly times over the past few days, which shouldn't happen. If you're fast enough, you can get here and that crane can give you a little bit of a boost. But it can also push you away from the switch. What you want to do is hit this switch, and then the next level trigger will just appear down here. And then you just want to go. You can just drop down. It won't kill you. If you go down there before you hit that next level trigger, it will actually kill you. So this is Abyss 2. This is... If you hit well, this is a really impressive looking level that doesn't matter. Hopefully I don't die here, because I can sometimes. I'll take it safe. Nice. So Abyss 2 looks impressive, but there's actually a bit of magic behind it. Okay, maybe beam? Okay, if you need me to do something like lower my bitrate again, just tell me. I'm not dropping frames, and I'm still in the green on my connection. So, again, Abyss 2 doesn't matter, and I'll explain why in a bit. I'm just going to get through this starting bit, because I'll get to the bit that looks impressive, and hopefully hit it before I start talking big. We're overqualified for this So, we're going to use this to go fast. 1, 2, 4. We want to stand on the 4th one, and we want to aim for this. You can do this a number of ways. I'm going very fast. Yeah, I hit the ceiling. So, you can actually use this speed and momentum to go across the entirety of this. And we're basically now ahead of the platform, so we're going to have to do a little bit of special jumps here. What we want to do is we want to use air strafing in combination with these cranes to be able to get over, and hopefully my air strafing is good today, because some days my air strafing is just terrible. I take a little bit of an extra jump here to make sure that I get over, just to be on the safe side. Again, it doesn't matter, and you'll see why in a minute. If you have a death on this level, it will cost you about 30 seconds because it's a massive time waste. I'm going to move away from those cranes so that they don't kill me again. I've had issues with this level lately. Let's see if we can catch this. Okay, sweet. I used to do... We're going to jump from this platform to that platform next. I used to do this in a really dumb and stupid way. But have since... The heck hit me? I used to do it in a really dumb and stupid way, but have since learnt the error of my ways and just do that. And as you can see now, there's no platform ahead of us. This is the reason why Abyss 2 doesn't really matter. It's basically a cycle-based auto-scroller. Like, you can just catch up. Even if you mess something up, you can catch up to this platform before it gets to the end. So, whilst it looks really impressive, it's actually not, unfortunately. Just don't die. So, because of that, we're going to have to survive here, so let's get that shooting quota up, shall we? Because it's been a while since we've done some shooting. These little ticks are the dangerous things because they will kill you. And the melee in this game is a little on the broken side. If you played the multiplayer, you'll know the melee is broken. We're basically waiting for the platform that we were on to get over here. Which finally does. It takes its time because you catch up to the first platform. We want to get on top now because the one bit of this level that actually matters is coming up in a second. As you've probably seen as well on the other platforms, the enemies don't generally jump to the front on these platforms. I think it's scripted like that, but yeah. So we're coming up to the end of Abyss Chapter 2, and we've got two kind of cool things coming up. We've got the climb, which basically we get up this really long climb early and save some time.
Barely.
And then we've got the out of bounds skip, which has actually gone through some changes since the first time that it was discovered, which is kind of sad, kind of not.
My luck, this place is going to turn itself inside out.
The way that the out of bounds skip used to work when we were first speedrunning this game was you'd sit next to a wall at the back, crouch, and the game would push you through a wall. It's as simple as that. It looked simple and it looked amazing because we basically skip out on a 5-minute arena fight that's coming up. Also, shout out to that random piece of flipping geometry there. However, Respawn again were absolutely wonderful to us and said to us, hey, you know there's a faster way to do this, right? And basically told us there's a quicker way to do it. I'm a little slow out here. Want to hit those trees. And now we want to start the climb. So, Cooper's a little weird. You want to go corner to outside to corner. Otherwise, Cooper won't grab. And if you're fast enough, you'll get here before this platform turns up, so you have to wait anyway. And we got up fast. That's nice. That was a nice climb. It's nice that goes well, because if you mess up your movement slightly, you will fall all the way down. So now we want to get over to the first moving platform, which is the 3rd or 4th tree here. And now do the out of bounds that I was talking about. The old out of bounds, basically you sat... Ooh, let me just not fall off this. The old out of bounds, you literally sat alongside that wall. However, someone clever in the community, after Respawn said about us being able to do it quicker, decided let's test all of the walls. So let's go to the opposite wall and just go out of bounds. It's literally as simple as that. You crouch and you go out of bounds. And now we're on the outside. So instead of having to sit through this like 5-minute arena fight, we've got this really cool out of bounds that takes us straight out of the level. The old out of bounds pushed us through here, and the level trigger wasn't there, so we had to take an extra like 10 seconds. But with this out of bounds, we can actually go over here, line ourselves up with this, and we will fall straight into the end level trigger. But yeah, there's a few cool out of bounds like this. There's another one coming up in the next segment, which is even cooler because it skips a boss fight, and we only found it within like the last month. And it's really cool because it involves taking BT out of bounds, back in bounds, out of bounds again, and then back in bounds again. But the Into the Abyss stuff is really impressive looking. It's some of my favourite stuff to do in the run because it's not that hard, but it's really cool. It looks cool. The Abyss 2 stuff doesn't matter as long as you don't die. If you do die, it is a massive time loss because obviously you just don't want to die because the checkpoints will actually just put you back into a really unfair position. And here we're using the same thing we did in the vent. Nice movement. Bad movement. So if I can, if we can get into here fast enough, it wasn't the one I wanted, but we got in here. Wash ourselves out. I'm going to take this as a safety just in case, but we basically keep going around the right there. These caves, these cavern systems, are what I would consider the hardest part of the run. Not because of skips or anything, but because it's just hard to be consistent with them. Decent. Very decent, I'll take that. And now we just want to use some... Uh-oh! Over. overextending. What I want to do is, if Cooper would actually jump for me. Thank you for not jumping, Cooper. Greatly appreciate it. So what we actually want to do is use the momentum off this wall to air strafe and get over to this. Fortunately, we had a nice checkpoint there. Now we're gonna walk up here just because we can. And remember when I said we needed brute for some of the skips? The first one of those skips is coming up now. It's ash skip. So that's thank you. Thanks for that little damage boost after you walk me. I appreciate that. But basically, there's what would be a boss fight coming up, but we're gonna skip that with really cool out of bounds that was found within the last month. Also, these walls will stop your movement completely. Don't understand why. You're in a giant robot. But what we want to do is boost, use the hover of brute, and get on this pipe. Perfect. So we want to go over this little ring here. Look at this wall. Get out of BT. We're out of bounds. Turn around. Get back in BT. BT is now out of bounds a little further up from that pipe. We want to go on this pipe and be careful because the trigger for the boss fight is right next to us. And also you will slide off. So we want to go up here. Again, the trigger is right on our right, so we want to use this. And now we've passed it. There's a visual indicator here of two little rocks in this side bit that I use, where we want to go here, boost over, boost again, land, get out of BT, get back in BT, we push BT back kind of inbounds, go over here, brute jump up here, and then just climb up this pipe to the end of the level. And we've completely skipped a boss fight that saves us about, I want to say 20 to 30 seconds. That is one of the really cool skips in the game. There's a difficult one coming up, not in this set of levels, but the next. Really awesome. This is Effect and Cause. Effect and Cause 1 doesn't have much. It's kind of similar to Abyss 1 in that we just want to get to BT. Effect and Cause, again, is another set of levels that isn't going to have much BT in it. This game does a really good job of separating you from BT and doing it in a believable and clever way. So we just want some good movement here, which I took an extra little slide there because I didn't want to hit the So you'll see some funky stuff happening, and this is the gimmick of these levels. And these are probably, the NC2 is probably my favourite level to just run. Because it's pure out and out movement. There's no waiting around, there's no fancy stuff. Want to get here fast as possible to hit the triggers for the next part to load. And the kind of the one and only bit of movement is coming up here, rock boost, which I'll try and hit, but I've been a little lax at it. We want to hit not this rock, I want to hit this rock here. Right, I didn't get it. Shame. I had a bad angle. I kind of slowed myself down. But if you hit that rock perfectly, you will go flying up here. So remember at the... Oh, wow. Remember at the start of the game, we came here to find Anderson? This is really awful. Well, we found Anderson. He's kind of in the ceiling. You know, just as you are. Right, there's a little wing around the NC2. There's also a soft lock that will happen in ENC2 that I've never gotten before until I did practice about 2 days ago. So, yeah.
Bring me his helmet. I will analyze it.
Don't ask why I jump here. I misremember where the trigger is, so I just jump. So now we get a bit more plot.
Now transfers to you.
Just gonna grab some ammo.
Congratulations on your field promotion, Pilot Cooper. The following is Anderson's mission.
How we got promoted? Because Anderson's dead. What's up?
Militia SRS.
Major Anderson, 2 weeks ago we intercepted IMC comms. They found something on Titan. A massive blast of energy was discharged at this location, creating time distortions. I want SRS on the ground to infiltrate the facility.
Roger that. I'll get some answers.
This wrist-mounted device we recovered during Operation Grizzly should protect you. We know the IMC have contracted Kuban Blisk and his mercenaries to protect something critical there, so watch your back. And Anderson, you know how much I love writing death reports, so don't go it alone. The SRS is a team.
Yeah, look how well that went. Someone went it alone.
Complete. We are duty bound to uphold and fulfill Special Operation 217. Recommend we locate Anderson's wrist-mounted device before proceeding.
What are we supposed to do?
So again, this is the quickest dialogue option. Basically, BT just says the quickest dialogue. Sometimes it's quicker to wait through the dialogue. Sometimes it's better to use the dialogue options. And again, like I said earlier, Blood and Rust is the one time we want to delay it and use the longest till we get to skip through it. So we have to wait for all these triggers for BT to throw us up here. That's one of those unfortunate times where there are a few cutscenes.
Gotta be an easier way, BT.
I will work on it.
It's one of those times where there is some unfortunate, like, waiting around, but at least you can move during those times, unlike the opening cutscenes of the game where you are locked into cutscenes. That's the only one that will aggressively go after you, even though the rest of them, like, step up and tell you to get out of the neighborhood. Yeah, if we could skip some of these cutscenes, we would have an amazing speed game. The only ones that really worry me are the ones at the start of the game and the end of the game. These ones are fine, because you can just, like, move around and do dumb stuff, like walk into these lasers. If we could find a way to skip these triggers, we would, but we've extensively looked, and unfortunately there isn't anything. I'm going to take this slow, because this part here, if you go too fast, can throw you back out whilst it's in the present day, and you will have to redo that segment if you accidentally fall down. I accidentally double jumped before I hit the ground there. Like, if you... Could I get a ban on Mega Me for saying Hotline Miami 2 is a good speed game? Mega Me's memeing me. Jackintosh will know as well. So ENC 2 coming up here. This is our gimmick right here, and basically this is why I really like this level, is because we have our special little gimmick, and if you've seen Doctor Who, you already know it's timey-wimey stuff. So there's obstacles in between the time travel, but being good at this level, being good at this level actually takes some skill, because you have to use the different time zones to get through. That little drop there was on my end. Use this wall to get me some speed back up. That was an okay then, I shouldn't have lost my time. So you want to use the best time period for that period. Ah, you are in the way. So I'm going to stay this one and get rid of this thing. So you want to go back into this time to go in the elevator. For some reason, and you saw that on the ENC1, you can walk through some of the enemies. Just because. So climb, back to this time. Okay. And this guy will also walk through the door, if you're fast enough. For some reason, you can't kill this guy, but he'll walk through the door. You want to grab fire stars here for later on. This is the last of our loadouts. We'll transfer over to the next level that we want. You can get fire stars. Oh, what? This is actually important. So this is the arc that they were talking about. Anderson doing his best job of finding out what it is and getting impaled in the floor in the process. So again, this is the unfortunate thing. That was good movement. Nice. And I bounced off the trigger. The trigger is literally like right here that I bounced off. That's pretty awesome. But getting in this room like that is pretty nice, because I've been messing up lately.
Doesn't look like they perfected the casing.
So a little bit more waiting around. The arc appears actually behind him there, being transported upwards, but obviously we're not sticking around for that. We're just going to carry on and get going fast. This is where the cool fun movement comes in. Hopefully I can get this, because my practice has not been going well lately. Kind of lost it a little bit. Let's stop here and just walk through this fire, because why not? I'm going to take this safely here. You can get over to that platform over there, but I'm going to take it safe because I like to fall into the holes of this level. You cheeky bugger. I was trying to wall run around the side, but for some reason Cooper wouldn't grab hold of the side of the wall there. I don't want to go up, Cooper. That's some of the weirdness of the movement I was talking about. Sometimes Cooper just won't grab the wall, or sometimes he will grab the wall when you're like holding crouch. It's kind of weird, and it happens in like very obscure cases, but it does happen. Obviously, all of this is one-hit kill. We'll be seeing these exposed wires again on the beacon. This is where we can soft lock, so we want to be a little careful of that bin behind us that you briefly saw. If you land anywhere that isn't the floor there, you will actually soft lock again, because the game thinks that you're still trying to get down to the ground, and you will just stay there floating forever. It's awful. Oops, excuse me. That's my hernia. I have a hernia which causes a few problems sometimes, but my apologies about that small little burp. So this level, again, there's no major skips. I didn't get punched by that guy for once. That's a miracle. Now, there's one other guy that I'm hoping not to get punched by, and it's that guy right there, that Legion. That Legion, or this Legion, is gonna cause some problems in a second, because he likes to try and punch you. And if he punches you, it's a one-hit kill, so... And he has a disturbingly high accuracy rate. He is in punching position, I'm taking it safe. I got some good movement, and I got a nice damage boost there. But that Legion, if he's in that position, you will see him turn around and wind up the biggest punch that will just kill you instantly. Did time stop? Whoops, I forgot. I forgot about time stop. So there's something really cool you can do there, where if you do like a time stop at the right time, in the right circumstance, you get flung into the sky. I've had it happen like a few times, but I haven't actually like purposefully pulled it off, so that's my bad. It doesn't save any time, but it looks super cool because it just basically glitches you out of the sky. I haven't practiced time stop, so I actually kind of forgot about that. But it's really cool because it will take you above the entire level, and you're basically getting like a nice bird's eye view. We unfortunately didn't find anything to be able to use with it, but yeah. And now we got another like 30 seconds to a minute of waiting.
Well done, pilot. Scan complete. As Anderson discovered, the IMC intend to destroy the militia planet of Harmony using the full-scale version of this weapon. Pilot Cooper, our journey is far from over. We must get this data to the fleet.
So we're coming up roughly to about halfway through the run. The biggest level coming up is Beacon 3, but it's also the most... It's the most technically impressive one, because it's the biggest one that's gone through skips for us over the past few months, and there's a really technical skip on the third part that is absolutely beautiful.
Anderson is dead, but we can complete his mission.
It used to be really hard to pull off, but then we found something really awesome. But Beacon 1 here, we're gonna be skipping ahead. Nice. Lost a little bit. So what we want to do here is, you can see slightly over there, there's a big old cloud of like electrical gas that does kill you. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna trick the game out a little bit. We're gonna go over it. And we're going to go over to our objective. Now, it's not going to skip anything initially, and it's not going to look like it's skipping anything. I didn't mean to do that, but I can make it from here. Some good air strafing. We want to get over here, where this is where we end up. There's some stalkers assaulting the building, and there's some stalkers that appear in this gas. Now, because we've done this and we're going back to BT, this stops the spawning of enemies later on. So basically, all we have to deal with is getting in BT, grabbing that Titan loadout, because that is going to come in very useful. It's Ronin. It has an extra dash, so obviously for our speed, we want to use it. So there's the phase dash there. And then we want to get on here and hope that we get a nice little dialogue skip. The trigger's around here somewhere. We haven't been able to find a way to like do it like consistently. I'm not getting it.
Threat neutralized.
You would wait until halfway. I hate you, Cole. The trigger is like around here somewhere. We don't know the timing exactly, but you can see the dialogue here is kind of stacking on itself, but it goes quicker basically. It's around here somewhere. We don't know if it's time-based or anything, but there's definitely a trigger to it. It's kind of annoying. Can I get the... Yay! I got the disembark boost. I didn't get it on Blood and Rust, so I'm happy that I at least showed it there. But you saw how I basically got shot in the air. That's the disembark boost I was going for on Blood and Rust. Also, if you learn this game and you ever want a place to test your movement and know that you can do it, I highly suggest this room. It's basically a square, but there's like little like people in the way, there's little obstacles. So if ever like you want to know whether you can do the movement or not, you can do it both ways around. And I use this room basically to practice and make sure that my movement was like pretty good. Unfortunately, again, we have to wait around for this. They need an arc tool to start the power so we can start this relay dish over here to send a message. Girl Greenier here never opens the door, really. Really wish he would. So I hate this level coming up, Beacon 2. It's good for movement, but if you mess up that movement even slightly, you'll have a silly little death, and silly little deaths. Oops. Sometimes as well, you won't go forward when you hit the forward button. It's really weird. But... So for the first part of this, you just want to do good movement. There is kind of two skips coming up on this level. One's impressive, one isn't. One's just going fast. Movement's a little rough. These will all instantly kill you, so I am taking it a tiny bit slow, I must admit. Because I filled my quota of city deaths back on BT7274. Wait for that to go around. I'm gonna shoot that guy again because sometimes he doesn't die. So hopefully this door will now open. Nice. Carry on. I think the two that you need to kill are the first two. The first one that I shot and the one that I fire-starred. But you want fire-star for these levels, basically. Yes, save or kill the Marvin. Yeah, that's a thing. Because I had a silly death, I'm killing Marvin, so I'm going to go fast. That's decent-ish. We want to grab this if we can. Nice. Hit the switch and go down. I do this a little differently than everyone else, which is probably going to end up in my death looking at this right now. So he's going to turn off... Oh, I messed up my movement. I'm not going to try it. That would kill me. So if I actually didn't scrape the side of the wall like I did, I could have just basically jumped off the wall and jumped straight over to the Marvin with the arc tool. And now that we have the arc tool, we can do some stuff like open switches, turn on fans, etc. So let's... I got a bad angle here. Yeah. You can grab onto that wall as well and slow yourself down. So the proper actual skip of this level is coming up. Hello? Okay. These act a little weirdly. There's a reason I'm not doing like this, for instance, is sometimes when you jump, these act like they're not here. This is the skip right here. We want to try and use this. That's good. And we basically skip out this entire room. You want to go back into that room, because otherwise there will be, and I'm going to set up a quick save there in case I didn't go in far enough, but there's an invisible wall later on, where there's basically a trigger at the end of that room that gets rid of the invisible wall. And if you don't get rid of the invisible wall, obviously you're going to bounce off it and die. And that invisible wall is coming up in a second. It's coming up between these two fans, and we got it. You shouldn't ever hit that invisible wall. With that. 5 stars. Cool. Okay. So, Beacon 3. This is the good stuff. This is the really impressive skip of the run coming up. It's after like 2 or 3 minutes of kind of faffing around. But there's basically our biggest impressive skip is coming up. This has evolved over the past month or so to be something absolutely beautiful. We have to do a little bit inside of this room, but basically we have to use the arc tool in this highly irradiated room where the game says it will kill you, but apparently it won't kill you even on master difficulty. So yeah, just go fast. But the skip is coming up after this. Basically, we used to do this normally by going through the level normally, and then someone, basically BT's going to throw us, and then someone had the bright idea of, why don't we jump out of BT's hand? We actually get enough movement from that to just get on top of a silo and do good movement to get across the entire thing. But it was hard to do. It was the technical part of this one. However, someone, and I think it was Task, who found the out-of-bounds Ash skip, figured something out. And this is really cool what's coming up. So we want to get back in here. A bit of talking again. And then we're going to go outside. For this we need... So this is what we're doing all of this for. We're going to send a message to the fleet. Don't worry about the fact that it's smoking at the moment. I'm sure that's fine. Looks fine to me. Oh, the devs told us? Again, this is why Respawn are great, because they told us about like 4 or 5 different things in this run, which is great. So that's called in the IMC.
McCord, can we bypass the module? No, sir. Not unless we want to send a message to the entire IMC fleet. Then the module's gonna have to be repaired manually.
Pilot, this situation could use your skills.
Again.
I hope you're up for another trip to hell, Cooper. You'll need to repair the beacon on site and get back here as fast as possible.
So, what this requires is a ramp.
Transferring controls to pilot.
Do I have enough time to do this? Now, we have a few ramps here. I don't think I should have done that, because that may actually lose me a bit of time, but... You can do this off a ramp, or we can do this off the door. Which, yes, Bri, I practice it off the door. I'm going to do it now. You want Brute? You want to go to the door? Boost, and now we should have moon boots. Yep, it looks like I do. I do. Fantastic. So you can already see something's amiss. We have extra gravity. We've cut our gravity by, I think it's about 15%, was it? Which for the rest of this level is going to be cool. Now let's say we have a catalyst to take us really fast and use good momentum. BT here. Now I'm going to make a cheeky quick save because I messed this up. So I'm going to make sure I don't. But now, we used to go through the bottom part of this door, then we used to go through just the top ceiling. Now, we're going over it. This is super fast. We only found it within the last, like, month or so. And hopefully my movement's a little off. But with good movement, skip all of this. I don't think I'm going to get the full thing. Yeah, my movement's bad, so I'm just going to take it. I'm going to take it easy here. But the full movement, you can get all the way over to the end. I'm going to take it easy because I was going at a little bit of a bad angle there. But even this is fast. I'm going to take it a safe route because I like going up here. And again, because of decreased gravity, we can make higher jumps. So that's a blessing and a bit of a curse. We do have to be a little careful. If I can do this properly. Yes, got it. Quick way to get around there. We're going to skip this building entirely. Okay, so there is a little bit of extra to this jump. I will admit that I am not fully versed in it. There's a gravity star down there. You use that to go over to where the actual beacon module is. I unfortunately won't be doing it because I haven't practiced it. Well, that's a lie. I have practiced it. I die each time because I'm bad at it. The timing is weirding me out. So we want to bring the dish over. We don't have to bring it over completely because, again, moon boots means we have less gravity. We can get over. So we skip like an entire set of enemies here. Oh boy. I almost died there. So we skip an entire fight and a load of enemies shooting at us. And again, because of the lower gravity, we easily can make this. I kind of pulled the module over a bit long again. But again, I'm just taking it a bit easy because I've had my silly death quota now. So I gave myself 3 silly death quotas in this. Apart from one skip that I will be attempting to do. But again, because of moon boots, you can just like skip platforms, which I won't be trying to do because that usually ends up with me dying in stupid places. Hello? Alright, thank you. This game sometimes. And again, because of moon boots, we can easily get ourselves onto the top of this roof and just skip going around. You want to be careful here, because if these guys hit you, like that guy, they will knock you off. I want to try and hit this guy with 3 5-stars, because that will basically take him out. And then here, I want to use a 5-star for these guys. And basically, now we're going to get our shooting further up a little bit. Remember, we are shots fired after all. Go down here, I want to take these guys out. I don't think the way that I do this is that fast. But basically, we want to take out all of these guys early. We used to have a secondary part to this level. You're one of the fucking ones who's like spawning this way over there. And then there's like some enemies around here. How are you, sir? I headshot you. How are you? But reminder that this is on easy and enemies can survive headshots. I think he's the last one, so I'll start the climb now. Either way, BT will deal with the rest. So now, what you're supposed to do casually is wait for BT to throw you, but of course, we just go up here. We've been going up here since the very beginning.
All threats eliminated.
With moon boots, it makes it a little easier, but it was easy enough with like moon boots. Now, beforehand, we used to be able to replace the module at the top of this beacon when it was up there. We used to be able to climb up that leg, stand on it, and then replace it. When this game went for a free-to-play weekend, Respawn made it so that the only time you can actually take this out is here. And this was before we found, like, moon boots and even the new fastball. Not even super fastball. So we lost about 10 seconds to this. However, with this module, when you replaced it early, there's a high chance it will soft lock. Which, boy, I love running games with soft locks in them. As you will see later on. Oh boy. So, basically, because they reverted that change, that doesn't soft lock anymore, which is actually kind of nice. I want to change to Ronin. And I want to stop dead for some reason. Thanks, BT. So we have a boss fight coming up. And the enemies that spawn in this next segment spawn based on where you're looking. So I'm going to be looking in very specific places. First one, and I want to use Tone for this because it kills these enemies quicker. I want to look at this door and they spawn right behind us.
Militia forces, lock down the control room. Threats detected.
Boy. So I'm going to look here so that the next three spawn right next to this door. What's that? Oh, I've never seen that happen before. Okay. Now I want to look towards the door again because the next two Titans will spawn next to the door. If you look in certain places, they will spawn all the way back in that corner. So now we want to take these guys out. This guy has a Vortex shield, so I'm going to shoot him to get his Vortex shield up first. And take care of this Ronin. Right. You want to play nice this time, Richter? Yes, he did. He spawned back here, so you can have it spawn in a few places here.
Care to have a real fight? Let's see what you got up close and personal.
Hopefully, good old Richter here will sit in some fire. This is why we turn to Scorch. This is why Scorch is good. We're going to punch Richter back to the wall. Hopefully. Richter, you don't want to play nice, do you? I hate you. That'll do. So, when you put a canister down and use that, I'm just gonna... Look at the guy. Uh-oh, because he explodes and that does damage. So you want to be a little careful that you don't die from Richter, because that is an embarrassing death. But basically, Scorch has... Basically, Scorch's middle mouse button lays 2 gas canisters down. And then if we look here real quick... just random people coming through the walls, don't worry about it. But basically, Scorch allows us to lay down a pool of gas that ignites with basically most of our abilities. So what I wanted to do, which Richter didn't do, you want Richter to go up to a solid object and get stuck. There's a few in that area. I like the wall trick because he does it most of the time, but he didn't this time. He's kind of on fire at the minute, don't worry about it. I'm sure he's fine. But basically, you want to get him into a corner and then like lay down some fire, and then he'll just, as you saw, stand in it and then die, which is great. We used to do that with Ash until we had Ash skip, and then we just skip Ash. You'll be seeing a fair bit of Scorch and Titan action in this next level, Trial by Fire. And again, BT's still on fire for this cutscene. And we're just riding on top of him because, you know, just get ready for some more waiting for like another minute or two.
Captain Ty Lastimosa was killed in action. I am now linked to an acting pilot, Rifleman Jack Cooper.
Wait a minute. Lastimosa linked you to a rifleman?
Yes, he had no other options.
Best rifleman you ever saw.
Understood. We'll get you transferred to a fully qualified pilot.
Objection. Cooper is my pilot. Our combat effectiveness rating now exceeds 90%. Request permission to retain this link.
It's fine for us to sit in here, don't worry about it.
You're lucky our backs are up against the wall, BT. Permission granted. That's high praise coming from a machine, Cooper. Thanks to your scan data of the Ark, we've tracked its energy signature to an IMC base right here on Titan.
Yeah, this makes this cutscene.
Let's go.
And the international symbol for Titanfall 2, the thumbs up. You've seen it happen a few times already. So this is Trial by Fire. This is a complete BT level. We're gonna be doing something interesting at the start by looking like we're gonna kill ourselves, but we're actually just gonna skip a wall entirely. We're assaulting the IMC base to try and get the Ark. Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Listen up. The IMC have developed a fold weapon. It has the power to destroy entire worlds, but without its power source, the Ark, it is inoperable. Your mission is to capture the Ark before it can leave the airbase. Marauder Corps, weapons hot.
That's having high FOV.
Stand by for Titanfall.
Thumbs up. So once we switch to Ronin here, we're gonna... There's a lot of turrets on there that are gonna shoot us if we start to get close. We're gonna get close. So we want to use Ronin's phase dash and our dash to get close and behind the wall, because that wall doesn't exist. So I'm going to wait until I start really losing shield. Go. This is always a bit risky. And I'm just going to walk through here. See you later. But you now start, and you'll see why we do this. Wind up stun. You want to grab... whoops, switch to tone first. Get some build up. Switch to Scorch, because Scorch basically destroys everything. And then Tone is... Tone is then good for the single target, so we want to basically build up Thor and Tone. And then... Whoa, 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 whoa. Please stop with the laser claw. I didn't mean to use that one, but I kind of panicked because laser claw. So, the real problem here is Sarah. Her AI will just decide to, you know, go the other way. There you are. So we want to try and, like, lead the way. And at some point... second, I think after this Tone is dead. There's actually a really slow combat. Yep. Now hopefully she will come and join us. I'm going to use Scorch Claw real quick. You following us? Yes, she is. Good. She is a massive pain, and you have to rely on her for this level, because you have to rely on her, like, keeping up with you. She is a wonderful AI, and will stop here and... Oops, reload. Stop here and kill this, and then she'll stop here and kill every single human, and, like, start to stamp on them, because why not? So you want to take them out on the way. I've got enough time to use another Scorched Core heal up. I'm going to build up the rest of my core back, because we want core for the next part. When the Scorches use their shields like that, the only thing we can do... Nice, that was actually very lucky. Right. Where, sir? Oh, nice job, Sarah. Alright. I've never seen her kill that Scorch before. But the nice thing is she's by this trigger, and you need her on the left. We're now going to switch to Ronin, because when I mentioned Ronin earlier, we're going to use Ronin Core in the next segment to go really fast, because Ronin Core keeps giving you dashes. And then on dash as well, you've got basically 3 dashes. glitches that just regenerate reasonably fast.
Well, you're doing a good job, Cooper. As far as I'm concerned,
Scorch is so good for certain situations in this run. You can use Brute to hover here, but I've done that in the past and then had BT fill my life. I get some really interesting glitches in this game that other people don't seem to get at times. So again, we're just going to mash and get through here. And get blocked by our allies, because why not? I'm saving my phase for here, so I'm going to try and build my core up reasonably fast here. These don't give you core, but the Titans do. Reasonable. So now I want to dodge all of these. I'd like to get in the way and can stop you, unfortunately. A North Star here who will also get in the way. Missed my stun, that's pretty good. And then it's just basically getting to the end for the final trigger. Are we going to get the Superman Brute? Are you going to bless us with your presence today? Nope. So every so often there's a Brute on this level that will just fly forward like Superman and just like be here at the same cutscene and then explode.
I'll let Viper take you from here. See you soon.
Oh boy. Oh boy. We're coming up to a level now called the Ark. It's the penultimate level in the run. I need to lay some ground rules for this level, because this level and me, we have some history. We do not get along. So, you ask any speedrunner of this game what level they hate to speedrun? This. There is a skip reasonably near the start called Barker Skip. Now, people who know about Barker Skip know that Barker Skip is a skip that opens up a realm of infinite possibilities. After doing Barker Skip, I have softlocked in 7 different occasions, been glitch killed by the environment, had BT die whilst I'm piloting him. And I have to go for this every single run. I hate this level with an absolute passion, so I'm going to be very, very careful about the words that I use. I will be going for Barker Skip. I'm going to give it about 3 or 4 attempts because it's slightly RNG. As you'll see in a minute. I'm going to be using Frag Boost. This is our second and only place that we'll be using Frag Boost. Yeah. We like to call it Barker Skip because it is awful. If I pull this off, and it's a big if, because I don't want to do it too many times because we're gonna lose some time if I keep like retrying it over and over. If I pull this off, it's gonna open up about 7 different softblocks. So I'm going to have to dodge those. Viper here is a boss that we'll be fighting in a minute. I don't like him. I'm kind of bad at him, even though I've been practicing him, like, constantly. Also, with the big FOV, you can see BT up in the air, just pointing. So this is Barker. I'm going to use the checkpoint rather than the quick save for this, just in case. I haven't used any quick saves. This could be a legit one if I actually get it to work. So, we don't have a way to... We basically get thrown by BT over to 6-4.
Commander Briggs, this is Blackbird 6-4. We can get him there.
So,
BT, we need a fastball.
Copy that.
Missed. That was close. If I airstrafed, I actually might have got that. I kind of annoyed at myself for that. But basically, we want to skip BT throwing us, and we want to land on the 6-4. This is going to cause the game to be a bit... That's a little off. Oh no. I hit it. Right, so, important thing to note. BT is there. He's waiting to throw us. That's going to be important for later. I'm going to do a little skip here. There's a giant kill field, but there's an invisible wall. Nice. Hit it first time. Oh boy. I'd rather they didn't power up the stalkers. And I didn't get the... Right, we've gotten past 2 weird glitches that happen whenever I hit Barker Skip. Oh boy. Oh boy. So sometimes I can have that trigger not happen, and the people in the elevator never spawn. I can have it where the geometry will glitch me. I can have it where the geometry will glitch me coming up here. I have a big long running list of things that I am attempting to avoid that can just randomly happen. We can just skip straight to the third battery here. Did you... You can get back up at the start, but it's easier to just loot. Checkpoint. That happens sometimes. I was not holding crouch, and that was what I was talking about earlier, where Cooper will decide, oh, I'm just going to grab hold of this wall. Like, I'm just not going to do it, and then I'm just going to, like, make you fall down. Like... So I want to take out him first, and I want to take these guys out first, these two ground troops, because they will set off these stalkers. And what you want to do is you want to take out everybody on these platforms before those stalkers manage to get over here. If those stalkers manage to get over here. If we manage to do that, and I want to grab fragments here. If we manage to do that, and the reason I shoot him first is because he's got a shield and he takes ages to kill. And I should actually be changing my weapon at this point.
Good covering fire. We got your back.
If you do that, you can basically skip having to kill them. We're going to do a little bit of a skip here. There's a little bit of a kill field, so I'm going to have to be a bit careful. Want to jump on top of... Nice. Oh, dear. The wind can push you off. I don't have any momentum. I have 0 momentum, so I'm just going to load.
Any ideas? Briggs here. What do you need me to do?
Close the door and keep her steady.
Nice. So we're going to now clear this out, because we're here early. I would rather have fire stars, but I can't. That's fine. Oh, please spawn. The reason why I want... Again, we're in shots fired, so let's get this shooting pointer off a little bit. I want to be careful with these stalkers. That's nice. So, because of doing Barker Skip as well, you can have it where this is really weird, and for some reason, like, the staircase will stop you from coming up. That was a decent room clear, actually. I had this part coming up. Right. So, remember when I said Barker Skip opens up a realm of possibilities? Here we have to align these two ships. Now, this game hates me. And when I do Barker Skip, it hates me even more and makes me have to align it damn near perfectly. Like, you will see me align it damn near perfectly, and it won't count. And the trouble with Barker Skip is, geometry is fucked, and so is one of our NPCs. So I'm on a time limit. And I don't like this angle, if I'm being brutally honest. So I have a time limit to do this before I get killed. Either I'll get glitched through the floor, or the geometry will kill me. So I need to line this up. Hopefully.
Use your data knife to steer yourself right behind the Draconis. Barker, get BT back to Cooper.
You got it. On my way. Hold on, Tin Man.
All call signs.
How is this not lined up? Thank you. Right, now we have to be careful. We have to stand back. Because of Barker Skip, BT is still back there. However, BT's here. So if you walk forward at this moment, or you're standing there at the console, the game will think that BT is in 2 places and basically crash on you. So I like to wait a little bit longer till his cockpit is open. Now I need one last little thing to not happen, where in this fight I can randomly have BT die while I'm piloting him. I don't know why it happens. It's kind of amusing when it does happen. I actually like the softbots. I don't like the softbots in this game, but I do like the softbots in this game because they're interesting. So what I'm going to do intentionally is not melee, because I think meleeing, and I really want to melee here, but I think meleeing is the trigger. So, and for some reason, it's something that only happens to me. I'm going to grab this battery for safety. So what I'm going to try and do is use running Thor on Viper. So much. Oh, it worked! What? How did that... Okay. Whatever. So Ronin Core is the fastest way to kill Viper? I don't know how he went out there and lost that last sliver of health, but perfect. I've now gotten through every single horrible part of the arc, and now we're on to like some little cutscenes.
For wind resistance.
I'm very surprised that worked. That shouldn't have worked. So this, you can't do anything to speed that up. He's taking you over the Draconis. So here, Viper's gonna shoot BT. We're gonna have to shoot the pilot in a second. I'm gonna miss because I have been missing the past few days, which is great. Like, I've been practicing this, I keep missing. So we want to jump here so that we don't get force pushed back.
I've lost the hatch. Need cover, need cover.
Hello? Thank you. With the Mastiff, you can get him in one hit, but it's a little thing.
BT, you okay?
Poor BT. He's lost an arm.
Still operational.
And that's pretty much the arc. That's every nasty, horrible bit of the arc over.
It's up to us, Cooper.
I'm actually really happy because I managed to show off Barker Skip, which I wasn't thinking was going to happen. So I'm really happy I showed it off, and I'm doubly happy that nothing bad happened. So everybody's trying to get off the ship now. We're trying to get the arc because this is where the arc is on. Leave you with a little bit of
The containment unit is too large to carry. We must improvise. I cannot reach the arc. Cooper, I need your help.
So this is a scripted part where we have to go through and remember to hold W because otherwise you won't actually do it.
Quickly, we need to get off the ship. We are running out of time.
So BT's going to act as a container for the arc.
This way, Cooper.
And we're going to get off the ship. Or up. So again, unfortunately, the quicker dialogue option is to ignore BT here. It's not only that BT lost an arm, but now his pilot is ignored.
I will not lose another pilot. Brace for impact.
So we're coming up to the final level now, the forward weapon. There's some interesting stuff in this, and there's a big boss fight. There's a lot of cutscenes that you can't skip, unfortunately. There's about like 2 minutes at the start here, 2 minutes in the middle, a minute near the end. There is some speed tech as well. There's a really weird one coming
Once you have delivered the Ark as per your contract.
But basically, we got captured by the IMC.
Just have my money ready. I'll get you your precious cargo, you useless naff. Oi, Titan, you're gonna open up and give me what I want.
Voice command.
Anime villain Blisk here. You can't tell me this game is not anime.
Let me just rip it out of him.
Can't risk it. The Ark's unstable.
Listen, hero. You have what's mine, and I want it back. Go on. Tell your Titan to open up.
About what? His feelings?
Still trying to be a hero, eh?
That is legit the fastest
I have a
option.
lot of guys riding on this contract, my friend. So tell your Titan, if he doesn't open up, I will shoot you in the head.
Pilot in jeopardy. Ocular systems. Marginal. Cannot visually acquire pilot.
Stand him up. You see him now? Right here, right here. Yeah? You see him now?
Functions compromised by severe
I
crash
don't
damage.
care how broken you are. I know deep down, some things still work in there. Now open up. I'm going to shoot your pilot in the head.
Now watch Blisk's movement in a second.
You still remember numbers, don't
This
you?
is impressive.
I'm going to count to 3.
1, 2, 3. Now,
That wasn't so hard,
I'm
was
gonna
it?
position my camera here
That's the
intentionally.
problem with teams. If you don't win together, you die together.
Blisk with the best pirouette, and then he sinks into the ground, which is great. And then you can just slightly see his Titan raise in the background. Like, they didn't have an FOV as high as we use, or that I'm using in this run. And then as soon as they added it, you start seeing these little things to the sides, which is really awesome.
Nice try, love. Say goodnight.
Alright, get the ark out of here! We're running out of time!
Unfortunately, poor old BT is now in bad shape. Also, everything's on fire, but when is it not? This is fine. Hi, it was.
Cooper, over here. Cooper, I can no longer uphold the mission. But you still can. Take the seer kit. It is your best chance for survival.
Remember at the start of the run, when I said foreshadowing? Here's a neat little thing. It wasn't just foreshadowing Lastimos' death. Lastimos was putting two things into the seer kit. The first, if you've ever played Titanfall 1, a weapon you will recognise. The smart auto pistol, which makes this section really fun. And another data hacking knife, which again, you melee people in this game with your fists, you never use this knife to stab people, you only use it to hack. And we'll be taking BT's data core. Time to leave. So. Survive, evade, resist, escape. Seer. There's going to be a tiny bit of a hitch here, don't worry folks. This happens every time. Like, not just to me, but like, it just happens. It really messes up my movements. I kind of just reset there. Jump kit comes back online. Oops.
Cooper, this is Commander Sarah Briggs. If you could read me, get to the bridge one click north of your position. We've only got one shot to turn this fight around and you're it. Our fleet's moving in on the fold weapon. We're coming. It's not over yet.
I don't know why I should.
You're headed in the right direction. Just keep moving. The anti-air defenses are extremely...
So again, for most of this, we're just going to be doing movement-based strategies, trying to take optimal route. There is one last piece of speedrun tech that we will be doing about middle of the level that I will point out. We're coming up to it. It's an interesting one. Can I get this? Yes, I can. Okay, so I want to go up here, along here. Hopefully get this right this time, which I can. Skip this building entirely. Remember that tutorial for calling in a Titan? There's the place to use it. FS1041? I don't like the sound of that. Sent a BT's data core into it.
Hello, Jack.
BT. So now our infinite ammo smart pistol just went down to a set amount of ammo. So now what we want to do is we want to go all the way to the end as fast as we can. I'm going to use Ronin for that. I'm going to try and build my core up. I'm missing every single shot, which is what I want to do. My seriously, 95%. You. So now that we have sword core on go, it's not exactly faster to do it this way. Sometimes I like having my core built up for the fight coming up. And our final piece of speedrun skip is coming up right here. So we used to have to push one of the Titans, that one there, into this door. Until someone found out the top part of this door, it doesn't exist. That trapdoor just doesn't exist. Like, yeah. We want to be careful in this part here because there are 2 enemies here. Uh-oh. With rocket launchers. That guy there. Thank you. If, obviously, even on easy, if they hit you with a face full of rocket, you just die. Which, that's also a weird thing. Like, we have a thing on one of the earlier levels where we use a Grav Star. A Grav Star will not kill you on Master difficulty, but a frag grenade will kill you on easy. Kind of weird balancing. Okay, so now we have the final boss fight of the game. There is a little bit after the boss fight, so it won't be time yet. And we have a nice long cutscene.
That time they do something. I think our militia pilot's trying to be a hero. He's all
More
yours.
memes.
Keep the salvage.
Who said anything about salvage? I'll do this one for free.
Unfortunately, she has been doing me for free lately. So we want to be a little careful because she has a laser core, and that laser core will actually destroy us. Again, like earlier. Are you kidding me? Like earlier, enemies will spawn in depending on where you're looking. I built up my scorch core nicely. I'm gonna use it. I've placed down some fire. You only need to kill those 2. I'm going to look specifically down here so that she spawns down here because I can use this to cover from her laser core because this thing will destroy you. And I have lost 3 PB pace runs to that laser core over the past, like, 2 weeks. And it's annoying me. So, I'm done with it. For the last one, I'm gonna actually be cheeky and try fast strats. Ronin core. Okay, I accidentally did the melee execution. It's a little slower, but she doesn't blow me up. So now here's a random QTE. And now here comes 2 minutes of cutscenes again. That was an okay stone fight. Actually, it wasn't great. The most ideal thing that I could have done was not killed her with the final hit of Sword Core, but to go back to normal Ronin and then just destroy her with the actual shotgun.
Attempting to restore ocular systems.
This has been a, like, apart from the city depths, it's actually been a really good one so far. But you don't even have to kill the other Titan that spawns at the start with her. You saw that I ignored it completely. And we have to have one more turn up from anime villain Blisk.
It's your lucky day, hero. I'm not going to kill you. I don't work for free. But you don't get to kill me either. Yeah, you earned this, eh?
See, he likes us.
That Vanguard class Titan is still in there.
Not my problem, Marta. Should have put it in my contract. I've got other people with money to see.
What are you doing? What do you think you are doing?
My analysis indicates the rogues are only option.
So unfortunately, BT is in bad condition. But he has a plan.
Cooper, I require your assistance. My auto-navigation systems are offline. Get me into that injector assembly. We must do this together.
So we're coming up to the final part of the game. There's a bit of ground-based movement, and then there'll be time after that. I hate this last part of the game, because sometimes it won't cling onto the wall. So. Oh, and there's a tree coming up that I always hit, which ruins my runs, so...
Blow it up. I'm sending you coordinates for a dropship rendezvous.
Coordinates received. We'll be there, but I don't see how you can.
Trust me, I have done the math.
I sure as hell hope so. We're on our way. Good luck, both of you. Briggs out.
Don't worry, BT. I'm not going anywhere.
Copy that, pilot. 3. Protect the pilot.
BT, what are you doing?
Trust me.
BT!
Rest in peace, please.
Cooper, we just lost BT signal. We're almost there.
So, one final part, which please don't bite.
There's nothing we can touch down on here.
These walls are fine. It's the wall coming up in the second part of this that always messes me up for some reason. Please don't bounce me to the left as well, because this hasn't a... It tried. Sometimes you can get bounced to the left. This wall coming up, this one right here, sometimes Cooper will not grab onto. Thank God. You can go faster if you're lower down here, but it's a bit risky. Don't hit that tree. Nice. And we are coming up on time. And that was Titanfall 2. Thank you very much for accepting the run. Thank you very much for choosing me as well. I appreciate it. In a year where we had Doom's campaign, Battlefield 1's campaign, we also had this. Last year was a really good year for campaigns, and both Doom and Battlefield are going to come up in the marathon. If I remember rightly, is there a Bioshock 2 race going on next? So stick around for that. That should be really good as well.
A lot of people owe their lives to you. And to BT.
So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Keep watching the marathon. It's going to be awesome.
Take us home.
Thank you very much.
You got it.
The destruction of Typhon saved the planet Harmony. The militia calls this planet their headquarters. The millions of others call it home. Commander Briggs says I'll be inducted into the Marauder Corps and assigned a new Titan. After the techs wipe what's left of my neural link with BT. I don't know what that'll feel like, to get assigned a new Titan. I kinda like the old one.
Great job on Titanfall. To all of you.
This is Pilot Jack Cooper, signing off.